lesson about the understanding of psychological disorders. Today, I want the audience to learn what psychological disorders are, how they can be diagnosed, and what components play into the role of such as the genetic and environmental factors. To begin, there's many types of disorders. There's about like a category of 10 to 12 types of disorders, but the two main ones I'm going to be talking about today are the depressive disorders and the schizophrenic and psychotic disorders. So to begin with, major depressive disorder is a disorder where you feel dysphoria, which is an intense sadness or an intense mood of sadness, and there's also another one in that category, which is persistent depressive disorder, which is kind of the same, but it's more severe in the fact that it's episodic and it's more intense sadness. Even though the name suggests that major depressive disorder is more severe, it's not like that because the neurotransmitters don't really collide as much as in comparison to persistent depressive disorder. Furthermore, these conditions are usually treated with antidepressants and talk therapy. But usually talk therapy is more effective as antidepressants can make you more dependent on the drug and make you more susceptible to suicide and other severe types of self-harm. And this is all provided by Whitburn, and it says that when these disorders hit, that they can have a major impact on a person's life because they change their habits so much. Whether it's their eating habits, they eat more, they eat less, hyperinsomnia or insomnia, they get more irritated, or they're having suicidal thoughts. That's a very high range of possibilities that can happen. Then there's also schizophrenia and the other psychotic disorders. Schizophrenia is much more severe than depression, with the fact that not only is it genetic like any other mental condition, but it can also be deadly if you don't treat it in time because people have really bad delusions, hallucinations. They can even get muscle rigidity because of how bad the condition is gotten, that they won't speak. It's catatonia, I believe, that you don't move or speak or blink. It's very bad. There's many types of schizophrenia because it's a spectrum, so it can be schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, I think there's a personality one, and they're all treated differently. Schizophrenia is treated with I think SSRIs, and what it does that there's two neurotransmitters, dopamine and serotonin. So when there's an increase in dopamine or an increase in serotonin, it leads to active schizophrenia. But also if there's a decrease in both of these levels, and this is by Spoiditis, who said that when we have a bunch of areas in our brain, but the main ones that get affected are our temporal, which is like by the back of the head, and temporal is by the ear, and the auditory, because those you see all the visual hallucinations and the auditory hallucinations, and you also get delusions like delusions of grandeur, somatic, the personal danger is somatic because you can put yourself and others into a friend. And I think it has a little connection with neurotransmitter disorder, but I'm not sure. Then with every mental disorder, there will always be a genetic or a environmental disposition. So let's say you have schizophrenia, and you're already genetically, you have the alleles for it, and your genetic dispositions for it. Yeah, you're in a very high stress environment, you're working yourself to the bone, and then you have a lousy job, and you're divorced, and you have a drinking problem, then that's gonna increase your chance exponentially of developing such disorder. But if you have the Leo and you're relaxed, you have a good job, you're happy about your life, and you don't have any drinking addictions or anything, then you're less likely to develop it because schizophrenia does develop even if you're healthy or not, but it develops quicker if you're stressed because stress has a lot of cells that go. Stress affects everything. Your face, it gives you cancer, it worsens asthma symptoms and everything. And this comes from Bardart and Panucci, and they stated that everything you do that relates to your stress will increase it and increase your chances for any condition that you have. So also if you have depression and you go through a really hard breakup or you go through like a big rejection, the majority will have to be institutionalized because of self-harm, or others might not respond and they might just keep going at it, but they might be sad, but they might not express because of how much has happened to them. In conclusion, mental illnesses are a very serious subject that should not be ridiculed about, nor should they be ignored, as many cultures have been that believe, such as Mexican culture, who believe that any mental illness is just a temper tantrum or it's just a it's not a bad thing. Everyone has mental illnesses, whether it's schizophrenia, depression, a personality disorder, OCD, eating disorder, a type of neurological, like developmental disorder like autism or dyscalculia or dyslexia. Nothing's wrong with them. It's just how their brain works. The brain chemistries are different. Their genetic predisposition is different. Therefore, no one should ridicule these individuals because everyone has their issues. Lastly, medication, therapy, and living a good lifestyle will improve the chances of people's living, which might mean they will be successful in life. There's many celebrities and many scientists who have mental conditions and they're still good at their craft. But therefore, just because you have a mental condition doesn't mean you're going to be a failure or stuck in the road. It just means that you get a little bit of extra hope. Thank you.